building some boxes, some flats to hold these seed things in. You know, the garden is still under snow, but I'm getting closer, so I'm starting to think of some stuff I want to get started. But when I was in town the other day, I picked up a bunch of these called Jiffy strips that are that like recycled paper kind of stuff. I've never used them before, but I thought, well, I'll give them a try. But I wanted to make a box or boxes to hold them. So what I'm doing is kind of reinventing the peach crate here. You know, when I was a kid, we used to, a peach crate was a valuable thing. We would fight over peach crates. You got one of them because it was nice thin wood, you know, easy to cut, but it had the thick ends on it and it had good nails in it. So if we got a hold of one of them, you know, you had all kinds of projects you could make out of them. Or apple boxes, you know, were the same way. It used to be the wood ones. They had partition in the middle, like what I'm putting on these. I know my mom growing up, she had a dressing table that was made out of 2 apple boxes, and then a board nailed on top, you know, and it was painted pink or something, but that was her dressing table. But us kids were always building stuff out of peach crates, you know, so like I say, it was a treasure. If you found a peach crate, you had something to work with. So we'd haunt stores, and you know, anytime somebody was throwing them out, we were grabbing them. But these I wanted to make to fit these things. So I've got, like I say, 2 compartments. They'll fit 3 on each side, so that's 60 pots altogether in each one. So should be plenty. You know, but I want to make 4 of them. When I'm at it, I'm set up here kind of an assembly line. You know, I cut all the pieces ahead of time. Now I'm just hammering them out. But I've got her down where I think it's either 14 or 16 nails to hold one together. Simple design, you know, 1 foot by 2 feet. So you end up with a 1 foot square deal there, which is just right for 3 of them. But after I get them done now, I'm going to put pine tar on them. But the wood I'm using, you know, those peach crates are made out of pine. This is basswood. And I happen to think, you know, when I talked yesterday about thinking a guy could cut lap siding with that Alaskan. You know, you can cut thin because this was cut with the Alaskan. You know, and that's under a 1/4 inch. But so if you get a 1/4 on one side and 1/2 on the other, you know, you have good lap siding. But I'll show you a piece here. I had cut quite a few of these boards like this that are, you know, I've got a few that are like 12 feet long, 1 foot wide, but 1/4 inch thick. You know, and I was going to make some boxes of a similar design to hold canning jars, but I'll have to scheme out, you know, what design I want to use for those. You know, not fancy joinery. I'm doing, you know, like on peach crates where it's they use like 3 slats on the bottom. I'm using a 1 solid piece because I got a 1 foot wide piece. But I'm doing the same method here where you put the piece on, then another piece goes over it and it's nailed through. So this one is actually clamped, you know, and the pressure is being held by this one. That also keeps the bottom slightly off the ground. You know, when it's sitting on a shelf, it sits on them. And I'm not being fussy about like the sides here. There's a little bit of a gap, which is great, you know, because you need to be able to, if you overwater them, the water can drain out. But it's interesting to work with. Basswood is nice in that it doesn't split. You know, it's a pretty stable wood, which is why wood carvers use it. It's not heavy, but like I said, it doesn't split real easy because I can drive these nails in very easily easier than you can with pine, and they're just a little box nail or make it boxes. But I think I'll make at least 4 of them. I can always make a few more. I've got, you know, plenty of, because most of it's scrap wood except for these big pieces. But I got to get them done. Then I'm going to pine tar them because, of course, there'll be moisture getting on them from watering the plants. So, pine tar time again. But I think I like this better, you know, like at the same place that was selling these. Of course, you can buy the plastic ones, and then there's a plastic tray. And I've had bad experiences with them before you try to pick them up and they twist and dump half of them out. You know, a good solid wood one, I think, is better. I'm not real convinced on these. Normally what I've done before is I make wood ones, just fill them with dirt and plant the seeds, get right in there, and then I'll take the plants out. This whole thing that would hold 50 plants. So we'll give it a try.